So let's talk about a distinction between skills and activities and what we'll call disciplines. A lot of times what we'll see with a sales individual that isn't performing up to speed, they have all the knowledge they need. They don't need to be taught additional things. But like a person trying to lose weight, while they know they need to go to the gym and they know they need to abstain from certain foods and stop drinking large sugary sodas, that knowledge doesn't automatically translate into success because it requires a certain element of self-discipline, of willpower, right? And when you look at sales, there's a big piece of the success puzzle that comes down to what we'll call core disciplines in the sales process. First key core discipline, calling the right people. And it sounds really simple, but so many salespeople will either call too low or they'll call the companies that seem interested and that will have a conversation with them without any consideration for whether or not that company represents the type of company you can add a lot of value for. Next core discipline, making proactive outbound calls, cold calls, warm calls, whatever you want to call, but actually proactive activity to engage a person you don't know in a first conversation. It's a discipline. We may know how to do it. We may know that ultimately it's a good thing to do. All too often people aren't doing enough of it. Next core discipline, having discovery meetings. So often we're afraid to find out that the person we're talking to doesn't really have a need for our product. So what do? We present, we pitch, we try to create some excitement and some engagement, and we never come around to asking, do these problems exist? Are they important to you? Do you intend to fix them? When? What's your budget for that? What's the process you're going through? If I were to never show up, would anything happen relative to those problems, right? Going through a really thorough and complete discovery to understand what the other person is trying to accomplish. Another key discipline, if you're in a sales process, if something is on your pipeline, then you need to schedule the next step, and it needs to be scheduled with a decision-making level person. So often what we hear is, oh yeah, I had a great conversation, they're interested, and I'm supposed to call them next week. Well, why didn't you put that on the calendar? Because we know what's going to happen next week. They're going to be busy, you're going to struggle to get them on the phone again, and then weeks will pass and suddenly we won't know if this deal is alive or dead.